Opera SM back from a little bit of a break to bring you another Puzzle Quest video. Today we're going to look at a Garruk 2 deck that could work for the Seize the Day event, which now the set restrictions for that are M20, Origins, Odyssey, and Tormented. Excuse me. So this deck is built around Ichorid, this 5/3 hasty menace creature with buried, costs 13. It's a horror, and then at the end of your turn, destroy this creature. But when you cycle or discard another card, if that card is a creature card, and if this creature is in your graveyard, it gains 7 mana. And then when this creature enters the battlefield, if you cast it from your graveyard, it gets +3/+0. So if you recur it from the graveyard, it'll be an 8/3 haste creature. So really what this deck is trying to do is just dump a bunch of Ichorids in the graveyard, then discard stuff in order to give mana to Ichorid and then bring a bunch of them back to play every turn or every other turn. So in terms of that, we have Enabler, stuff to get stuff into the graveyard. Gather the Pack, still one of the best options around in green. Buried Alive, just for 5 to get one of them into your graveyard. It probably works better in decks where you need a whole package into the graveyard, but it's just an option we can use here. Mortal Kombat is a cool new one from Torment as well, enchantment for 13. At the beginning of your turn, if there are 15 or more creature cards in your graveyard, you can gain 15 loyalty. Hopefully we win by that point, but it's mainly there for the second ability. At the end of your turn, you may pick one of the first 2 creature cards from your library. If you do, fetch that card, then destroy the other. So you've put one in your graveyard, and then you get a creature in your hand, which you can then discard to fill up the other stuff or cast. Vivian Nature's Avenger, so every turn we can use the first ability to fetch a creature card from our library. And then we've got some discard outlets. Zombie Infestation for 6 is great, an enchantment that at the end of your turn you may discard the last card in your hand. If you do, you create a 2/2 zombie. Mortophobia for 8. At the beginning of combat, you can discard the last card in your hand, then each player would lose 3 life, and then if it's destroyed or discarded, each player loses 3 life. Insidious Dreams. Discard all cards from your hand without mana, and then fetch the first X different cards from your library, not named Insidious Dreams. You lose X life, and X is the number of cards discarded this way. That also has Flashback. So theoretically, you could flash it back from the graveyard as well. I think there might be a couple other discard cards from the sets that I might not have yet. I think Narcissism is a green, kind of a green version of, in this cycle of Mortophobia. And then we've got some other draw discard stuff. So Serum Powder is great, so if we do end up drawing into it, that can really turbocharge this deck sometimes, because then if we discard a couple Ichorids, and then draw new cards, we can fill our graveyard up a lot more quickly, and then they charge stuff up as well from the discard. And then Season's Growth, which is great because when we start reanimating all those guys, we're going to draw into more cards, which can change stuff. Also, when the 2/2 zombies come into play from Mortophobia, this can also trigger for those. So let's go ahead and give this deck a whirl in Legacy Training Grounds and see how this works. So may fight some decks that are a lot more powerful than this, just because it is regular Training Grounds and we're doing our restriction, but with the weird set restrictions of this, since Tormented and Odyssey are still Legacy, we've got to do it in Legacy Training Ground. That's really funny. My brain is so used to saying Tormented from one of our From the Ashes coalitions that I'm saying Tormented instead of Torment for the set name. But happy to bring you guys another video. I just kind of needed a bit of a break. We ended up vacating the area we were and staying with some other relatives for almost a month now, because the area we were in, unfortunately, is one of the big hot spots now for COVID-19. So I'm glad we got out earlier than it is, but not sure exactly when we're going to be heading back because of that. So, but we will see. All right, so let's get Vivian down first so we can keep getting these Mortopods, Ichorids, And let's see, so we've got a white match into a black match, which is probably going to be our best thing, so we'll just go ahead and do that for now. Oh great, we got some loyalty too, and a green 5. That's awesome. Alright, put a little more of these guys into the graveyard too. And great, we even get a fetch a creature that we can start charging to play. That's wonderful. So we'll just take the green match for now, I guess. Serum powder, okay. Again, we'll get another Ichorid. I might actually just cast these Ichorids because might as well get some value out of them. So let's see, we've got some black matches that we can utilize here. I think that's going to be the best, so we'll just go ahead and do that for now, I think. So we see the Ichorid dies at end of turn like it should, according to what the card says. Great, there's a Season's Growth. That is good to get on the board. So let's see, red matches. I think we get +2 for red with this Planeswalker. So let's see. Yeah, I think that's going to be our best match. We could also get a loyalty match. We could get, yeah, but we'll just go ahead. I think I activated, no, I haven't activated this already. Great. Do that for another Ichorid. And just take the red match. Great, Serum Powder, that's wonderful because that's going to make us discard now. Great, so we've discarded some creatures. So now we're drawing into other things with some mana, so we should be able to get some Ichorids back to attack with this turn after we match stuff, which is awesome. And then we want to get our Season's Growth in play as well. So let's actually go ahead and take a look at our graveyard now. So if we look, we have 1, 2, 3, 4 Ichorids charged already, which is fantastic. So that's going to be 32 damage. That's coming through, and we're pretty early. This is only turn 4 too, so we're attacking for 34 on turn 4, which is awesome. So that means also that 4 cards are going to be coming into our hand. So we're going to want to make some space for said cards. So we can draw, but that is only if we can get this Season's Growth into play first, which might not actually be possible now that I'm looking at it. Yeah, I'm not seeing mana enough to do that. We could get a white match, which is only going to give us 2 mana. I think that is our best choice here. We could also get 3 loyalty a couple different ways. Yeah, so yeah, we will go ahead and at least get rid of these extra copies though. But I do think I want to keep Insidious Dreams because that's going to help us discard next turn. We don't get to it this turn. So yeah, I guess we'll just go ahead and take the white match for at least a little mana. Great, here come all our Ichorids. Since I didn't have another discard outlet, maybe it might have actually been better just not return them yet. But I'm not sure about that. All right, let's see. All right, so Season's Growth and then Insidious Dreams, if we can get enough mana for that, which we should be able to because we can get 5 from red and then 3 from the white, so that's 8. So that should be enough, which is great. And then yeah, that's actually perfect because then we'll have Gather the Pack ready to play a little later too. So, ooh, actually, No, not quite enough for gather, but we'll discard those creatures, which is great. And so that was enough to get our Ichorids back again, which is nice. And then now that we've got our Season of Growth out, it's great because we're drawing a bunch of cards to refill our hand after this. And Serum Powder, perfect. That's awesome. That's like kind of exactly what you want to do with this deck. Nice. So you see it just starts kind of really building on itself as you get more and more Ichorids into the graveyard from other abilities as well. So it's pretty awesome. I'm not sure how well this actually lines up with the objectives yet. I actually need to compare it, but I was just saw Ichorid and I'm like, I want to try to make a fun deck for this. And I've really been enjoying testing this in training grounds. It's worked very well actually. I think I lost one game to like a Omni-Hulk combo or something, which you're not going to face in that event. But let's see. So of these, what do we want to do? So we can get a black match here, a black match 4, which I think is going to be our best options. We can also get a loyalty into 3 blue, but that's not a lot of mana. So let's see. So this is going to get us 8 mana. So with 8 mana, we can gather the pack, and then we'll have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 greens. So we're only going to get 1 creature left from gather the pack, but that will be enough to get 2 Ichorids into our hand, which is awesome. And then reanimate the extra ones we added as well. So we should be able to win this turn. What is this? Turn 6? Yeah, turn 6. So we just need to make room for that one other for that one other Ichorid here. So we'll gather the pack. Great, now we have it. Now we'll Insidious Dreams, discard those, discarding creatures to gain some mana, which is awesome. Now we get our stream of Ichorids to come into play, and we'll get a turn 6 win, which is pretty sweet. You can run up the scoreboard here too to just see how long it actually takes to win with this, or how much damage we could actually deal with this turn. Because again, that's what's cool about this. So even if your opponent has a non-exile removal heavy deck, exile obviously is this thing's bane, just because then the Ichorids are not going to be able to keep coming back. But you know, they'll come swing for maybe 16 the first time, 32 maybe, then, you know, keep adding and adding more and more. So okay, we had 88 damage. I've definitely gotten up to 140 some damage with some of these sometimes too. But yeah, hope you enjoyed this Ichorid deck. That could be a possibility for the Seize the Day event. Hopefully I'll have some more videos coming for you guys soon. It's good to be back recording a little bit and feeling a bit better, so hopefully more content to come. Bye-bye.